الحمد لله الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله الله بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا بين يدي الساعة فإن خير الحديث كتاب الله وخير السنن سنن محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدثة بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. أما بعد فقال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتاب الله العظيم أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم يأمرهم بالمعروف وينهاهم عن المنكر ويحل لهم الطيبات ويحرم عليهم الخبائث ويضع عنهم إصرهم والأغلال التي كانت عليهم فالذين آمنوا به وعزروه ونصروه واتبعوا النور الذي أنزل معه أولئك هم المفلحون. صدق الله العظيم. My dear brothers and sisters in Islam, I was quoting a small verse from Surah Al-A'raf, chapter number 7 and verse number 157. It mentions about two things. One is accomplishments of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what he has given to community, what he has given to human beings. This is the first part of the verse. And in the second part of the verse, it narrates what should be our relationship towards Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. One is what Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has given to human beings. The second one is how should be our relationship with Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam as Muslims. The verse says, listing the accomplishments of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, يَأْمُرُهُمْ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ. He has enjoined you all kinds of virtues. وَيَنْهَاهُمْ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ. And he has prevented you from all kinds of evils. وَيُحِلَّ لَهُمُ الطَّيِّبَاتِ. And he has made you lawful all kinds of pure things. وَيُحَرِّمُ عَلَيْهِمُ الْخَبَائِثِ. And he has made you unlawful all kinds of impure things. وَيَضَعَ عَنْهُمْ إِسْرَهُمْ. And he has lessened the burdens which you are carrying in your backs. وَالْأَغْلَالَ الَّتِي كَانَتْ عَلَيْهِمْ. And he has liberated you from the burdens in which you are tied up. These are the accomplishments of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, contributions of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And what should be our relationship? There should be four fundamentals or four bases for our relationship. What are they? فَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا بِهِ. Those who believe in him. وَأَزَّرُوهُ. And those who respect him. وَنَصَرُوهُ. And those who support him. وَاتَّبَعُوا النُّورَ الَّذِي أُنزِلَ مَعَهُ. And those who follow the light which is revealed on him, which is Quran al-Kareem. أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ. They are the ones who are successful. See, it has very comprehensive verse. It gives a very clear-cut idea in front of us. What are the accomplishments of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what he has given to human beings, and what should be our relationship. There are four bases of relationship: to believe in him, and to respect him, and to support him, and to follow the guidance given by him, which is Quran al-Kareem. These are the basis of our relationship. Let me elaborate more about this verse. The first part of the verse, which gives all the accomplishments of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and says that Islam is a very perfect religion for you to follow. Because in Islam you can see that whatever injunctions is given by Quran and Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, they are all virtues. يَأْمُرُهُمْ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ. What are the do's and do nots? وَيَنْهَاهُمْ عَنِ الْمُنْكَرِ. And he has prevented you from all kinds of evils. If you see the list of do's and do nots in Islam, Islam gives injunctions to follow all kinds of virtues. Whatever you can do, all full of virtues. And what Islam prevents you from doing, it's all evils. Nothing other than evils. And وَيُحِلَّ لَهُمُ الطَّيِّبَاتِ وَيُحَرِّمُ عَلَيْهِمُ الْخَبَائِثِ. Whatever is lawful in Islam, it's all pure things. And if you see in Islam, there are big list of lawful things. Everything is halal except some of the things. And the list of haram is very limited in Islam. If you see, very limited things are prohibited in Islam, whereas all other things are halal. A big list of halal is there in Islam. So this is the advantage we have in Islam. And يُحِلَّ لَهُمُ الطَّيِّبَاتِ. And it says that all pure things are made halal for you. Every pure thing is made halal for you. And every thing which is bad and which is harmful and which is evil and which is impure is haram for you. There are a big list of halal things in Islam. And وَيَضَى عَنْهُمْ إِسْرَهُمْ. And He has lessened the burdens which you are carrying. And He has liberated you from all kinds of burdens which you had, or all kinds of shackles in which you are tied up. This is Islam. That's how you can see that if you follow Islam, it is good for you. If you follow Islam, it is a pure, beautiful, practicable system of life. During last Friday, I was in a Far East country where the predominant religion is Buddhist. And Buddhists, when I was talking to so many Buddhists, they said in their religion, originally non-vegetarian is prohibited. But I can see that most of the Buddhists, they eat all kinds of non-vegetarian. They are vegetarians from the belief. In the Buddhist belief, they have to be vegetarian. But practically, they are not following. They are non-vegetarians. Because lately they have understood that being a vegetarian is not something easy while living in forest countries. That's why you can see Chinese are there. In China, there are a lot of Buddhists are there. In Singapore, in Malaysia, in Thailand, a lot of Buddhists are there. But most of the Buddhists, they are non-vegetarians. They eat everything. Because lately they found out that this is not practicable. In India, for example, beef is considered as prohibited thing for them because they worship cow. In a religion in India, Hindus, majority of them, they worship cow. But lately they understood that it is not practicable. That's why recently India has emerged as #1 beef exporter in the world. It was one of the major countries to export beef in the world, but now India is the #1 beef exporter in the world. What it shows? It shows that Indians not only eat beef, but they produce beef to the extent that they are the biggest exporter in the world. Lately they understood that it's not practicable. In many religions, they believe that their priest cannot marry. In Christians, this belief is there. In Buddhists, this belief is there. In Hindus, this belief is there. But lately they understood that it's not practicable. And it has become a challenge. Even for the Pope, it has become a challenge to maintain the purity of their church, because they are not marrying, and it has created so many kinds of problem, which is definitely creating a problem for the church. So they have understood that it's not practicable. Like that, if you analyze most of the major religions, there are so many impractical things in the religion. Whereas in Islam, if you see the beautiful narration given here in this verse, chapter number 7, verse number 157, it says that all kinds of virtues are given to you. All kinds of injunctions which is given to you is full of virtues. And you are prevented from all kinds of evils. And whatever is pure, it is made halal for you. And the list of haram is very limited. And whatever is given as haram is impure things. Usually is haram, which is impure. Alcohol is haram, which is impure. Fornication is haram, which is impure, which is creating challenges and problems for human society. These kind of things are made haram for you. And Allah Ta'ala has lessened the burdens which you are carrying. Biggest burden in this world is believing in so many gods. Polytheism is the biggest burden. If you believe in many gods, you have to go in front of so many things. You become weak. You are not having a strong belief in one Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you have a strong belief in one God, then you need not have to bow your head in front of everything. That's what is happening. If you believe in many gods, that is the biggest burden. It creates so many burdens. Even among scientists, so many educated people, you will find so many superstitions because the belief itself gives them so many compulsions. But in Islam, it liberated you from all kinds of compulsions. And it's lessened the burdens which you are carrying. This is what Prophet Muhammad ﷺ has given to human beings. So what should be our relationship with Prophet Muhammad ﷺ? Our relationship is فَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا بِهِ. We have to believe in him. وَأَزَّرُوهُ, and to respect him. What do you mean by belief in him, believing in him, and what do you mean by respecting him? If you see, there are so many verses and so many ahadith of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ which explains us what is the requisites of believing in him or what is the requisites of respecting him. For example, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى أكون أحب إليه من والده وولده والناس أجمعين. None of you can become a believer unless you love myself more than your father and more than your children and more than every human beings. This is what is the requisite of belief. You have to love Prophet Muhammad ﷺ more than your family members or more than anybody you have a relationship of love with. What is the requisite of it? If you go back to the companions of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, you can find the living example of how they believed in this kind of teachings. What do you mean by loving Prophet Muhammad ﷺ more than your own family members or anything or the human beings with whom you have the relationship of love? Which means that you have to keep the interests for which Prophet Muhammad ﷺ came as a priority in your life. Deen or the religion of Islam, it should become a first love and priority in your life, more than the interest of your family and more than the interest of other things in your life. It should become a priority. Deen of Islam are the interests, are the needs and requisites of Islam should become a priority in your life. For example, you can see some of the historical incidents during the time of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, which gives an idea how the companions of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ were following these teachings of ahadith. There is a story of Amina bint Qais radiyallahu ta'ala anha. She was a companion of Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. During Battle of Badr, there was a rumor spread that Prophet Muhammad ﷺ attained martyrdom. When Amina bint Qais radiyallahu ta'ala anha heard about this rumor, she went and she was standing in a crossroads and waiting for the people coming from Battle of Badr. Every individual she could see who is coming from the Battle of Badr, she was asking, is this rumor true? What I am hearing? One gentleman said, I don't know, I am also trying to ascertain the rumor that whether Prophet Muhammad ﷺ attained martyrdom, but I am sure that your father attained martyrdom. Amina bint Qais radiyallahu ta'ala, she said, I did not ask about my father, I am asking about my beloved Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. Another person came, she asked the same question. He said, I am not sure about the rumor, but I am sure that your son attained martyrdom. She said, I am not asking about my son, I am waiting for the news about Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. Then the third person came. She asked the same question. He said, I am not sure about the rumor, but I am sure that your husband attained martyrdom. She said, I am not asking about husband. I am waiting for the news about Prophet Muhammad ﷺ. Finally, people came to know that it was just a rumor and Prophet Muhammad ﷺ is safe. When she heard about this news, then she thought about her father, her husband, and her son. If you see for any female, these three relationships are very important: husband, son and father, because they are the biggest supporter in her life. Amina bint Qais radiallahu ta'ala, when she came to know that three of my strong supports in my life, they attained martyrdom, she was not worried, and she was very much concerned to hear about the real news about the rumor of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam's martyrdom. How it shows that their love towards Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, attachment towards Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was more than their own family members. This is the real history we can see, and how they have implemented these ahadith in their life. Again, there is a story that when the son of Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala, when he became Muslim after Battle of Badr, he told an incident to his father about Battle of Badr. He said, I was participating in Battle of Badr, and I was confronting you every time I could see that you are in front of me from the side of Muslims. But I pulled my dagger back because you are my father. Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu ta'ala, he said, if I would have seen you in the Battle of Badr, I would have definitely killed you. Because for me, the purpose for which I am battling, purpose for which I am fighting against the enemies is more important for me than my own progeny, than my own children. So this shows that how Muslims, how when you are a Muslim, they have changed the normal behavior of individuals. Every individual, every human being, they have love towards their children, they have love towards their family, they have love towards their family members. This is something normal. But real Islamic belief means you have to have more attachment and respect and belief and a kind of love towards the things for which Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam came. The same thing is mentioned in Quran as well. Quran says, قُلْ إِنْ كَانَ آبَاؤُكُمْ وَأَبْنَاؤُكُمْ وإخوانكم وأزواجكم وعشيرتكم وأموال اقترفتموها وتجارة تخشون كسادها ومساكن ترضونها أحب إليكم من الله ورسوله وجهاد في سبيله فتربصوا حتى يأتي الله بأمره. If you see the detailed words mentioned about every individual and everything with which we have a great kind of love and attachment towards. For example, this verse mentions, قُلْ إِنْ كَانَ آبَاؤُكُمْ, say that your father, وَأَبْنَاؤُكُمْ, your sons, وَإِخْوَانُكُمْ, and your brothers, وَأَزْوَاجُكُمْ, and your spouses, وَعَشِيرَتُكُمْ, and your relatives, وَأَمْوَالٌ اقْتَرَفْتُمُوهَا, and the money which you are earning, وَتِجَارَةٌ تَخْشَوْنَ كَسَادَهَا, and your trades, businesses, and sources of income with which you are always fearing, a lingering fear is there of loss or termination. وَمَسَاكِنُ تَرْضَوْنَهَا, and your houses and dwellings, which is very dear to you. أَحَبَّ إِلَيْكُم مِّنَ اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ. If all these things which is natural for any human being, that they have love towards it, attachment towards it, and they are living for it, that is the objective of their life. But for Muslims, it's not. For Muslims, what should be their objective? أَحَبَّ إِلَيْكُم مِّنَ اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ وَجِهَادٍ فِي سَبِيلِهِ. The love or the attachment with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Prophet, and striving in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, struggle in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, should become more dearer to you than all these things. And if you are not doing that, فَتَرَبَّصُوا حَتَّى يَأْتِيَ اللَّهُ بِأَمْرِهِ. Wait until Allah tabarak wa ta'ala brings His decision on you. So this shows that our first love, first attachment, first priority in our life is not only family like all other people. It is the requisites of Islam. It is requisites of our belief. This should become the first priority. And this is what is loving Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What do you mean by love Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and respect? That means for the cause for which Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam came to this earth, and he fulfilled his mission throughout his life of prophethood, that should become dearer to you, and that should become a priority in our life. Again, in another hadith, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, لا يؤمن أحدكم حتى يكون هواه تبعا لما جئت به. None of you can become a believer unless you change your desires according to what I have brought. Means Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, I brought this religion of Islam, I brought this message. Your desire should be according to it. Naturally, human beings, they have a desire, so many kinds of desire, which is common for human beings. Allah Ta'ala has created desires in every individual. But changing your desires and regulating your desires according to the teachings of Islam, this is the characteristics of Muslims. You have to change your desires, you have to change your intentions, you have to change your priorities according to what Prophet Muhammad has brought. Only then you believe in me. La yu'minu ahadukum, if you are not changing your desires according to what I have brought, then you are not a good believer. So فَالَّذِينَ آمَنُوا بِهِ, believe in Prophet Muhammad opens many requisites in front of us. And this is a big requisite. Changing our desires, changing our intentions, changing our personality according to what Prophet Muhammad has brought. This is not an easy thing. So you have to change your life according to what Prophet Muhammad has brought. This is the requisites of believing in him, and this is the requisites of respecting him. And what is the second one? Believing and respecting means, I have narrated you so many things, that we have to change our personality according to what Prophet Muhammad has brought, and Islam and the requisites of Islam should become your priority, and that is the basis of your relationship. When you say that, you have to believe in him and you have to respect him. وَنَصَرُوهُ, and to support him. This was the call of every prophet. Every prophet was calling in their companions, support me for my cause. Isa alayhi salatu wasalam said to his companions, Man ansari ilallah, who is there to support me for the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Supporting a prophet means supporting the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why Isa alayhi salatu wasalam is asking, Man ansari ilallah, who is there to support me in the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And the Hawariyin said, Nahnu ansarullah, we are there to support you. And some companions supported Isa alayhi salatu wasalam. It was the same call of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He asked, who is there to support me? And even during the last sermon, he asked support from the people. He said, Isma'u qawli, listen to me. فَإِنِّي لَا أَدْرِي لَأَلْقَاكُمْ بَعْدَ عَامِي هَذَا بِهَذَا الْمَوْقِفِ أَبَدًا. Probably I may not be here to address you in this kind of gathering. That's why listen to me very carefully. And after that he said so many important things. And one of the things is to support him. How they have to support? فَلْيُبَلِّغِ الشَّاهِدِ الْغَائِبِ. Those who are present here, attending my last sermon, there were more than 100,000 people, 125,000 people. With him, he said, those who are present here, it is your responsibility to convey this message to those who are not present here. The real mission starts after Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, why he has sent? Allah Ta'ala says in Quran, هُوَ الَّذِي أَرْسَلَ رَسُولَهُ بِالْهُدَى وَدِينِ الْحَقِّ لِيُظْهِرَهُ عَلَى الدِّينِ كُلِّهِ. Allah Ta'ala has sent down Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam with guidance and with religion of truth to establish this deen over all kinds of isms, over all kinds of systems. It should become a superior system. It should become a superior religion over all kinds of existing religions and existing isms and existing systems. This was the mission of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is the reason why Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was sent down as a last prophet. He did this job in 23 years of lifespan. But Prophet is not going to live forever. The real mission starts after Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Companions, if you see, they continued this mission. They conquered the superpowers of that time. They conquered Roman Empire, they conquered Russian Empire, they established this religion in societies. So this is the real mission for which Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has been sent. So Nasaruh means the support Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam for this cause. Establish this religion in your individual lives. Establish this religion in family life. That's not sufficient. Establish this religion in societies where you are living in. Convey this message. Teach people about Islam, inform about Islam, give a good image about Islam. and tell them that this is the proper life system of life which leads to success of this life and life hereafter, and make this religion a predominant religion. How this is possible? By supporting Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, by indulging yourself in this kind of activities and making it a mission of your life. So again, the basis of our relationship is support him, wa nasaruh. And the final one is وَاتَّبَعُوا النُّورَ الَّذِي أُنزِلَ مَعَهُ, and follow the light which is given to Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Again, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in the last sermon, after telling that, listen carefully, he said, تَرَكْتُ فِيكُمْ أَمْرَيْنِ لَمْ تَضِلُّوا مَا تَمَسَّكْتُمْ بِهِمَا كِتَابِ اللَّهِ وَسُنَّتِي. I have left behind you two things, and as long as you are holding it strong, you will not be deviated. And what are those two things? One is Kitabillah, the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the second one is my traditions of Prophet Muhammad. Quran came to change the human society. If you see pre-Quranic society of Arabia and post-Quranic society of Arabia, it is totally different. Study this history of 7th century. In 7th century, people were weak people. They were not dominant people. They were uneducated people in 7th century. People of Arabia, they were less educated people, ordinary people. But post-Quranic life, if you see, they became leader of the society. They conquered the superpowers. They changed the human society. And this is the purpose of Quran. The purpose of Quran is not only ajr. Purpose of Quran is not only shifa. Purpose of Quran is not only barakah. All these things are definitely there. But the real purpose of Quran is to change society, to understand Quran, and to implement according to the teachings of Quran. So we have to understand these four bases of relationship. Number one is to believe in Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Number two is to respect Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Number three is to support Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And number four is to follow the light which is given to him. وَاتَّبَعُوا النُّورَ الَّذِي أُنزِلَ مَعَهُ, which is understanding the Quran and practicing it. This should be the basis of our relationship. May Allah Tabarak wa Ta'ala give us understanding of the teachings of Quran and a tawfiq to follow it properly. Barakallahu lana wa lakum wa nafa'ni wa iyyakum bi ayatihi wa dhikril hakim. Innahu ta'ala jawadun karimun malikun ra'ufur rahim wa rabbun halim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. As-salatu was-salamu ala rasulihil ameen wa ala alihi wa ashabihi at-tahirin, amma ba'd. Faqala Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala fi kitabillahi al-azim. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Inna Allaha wa malaikatahu yusalluna 'alan nabi. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu sallu 'alayhi wa sallimu taslima. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Muhammadin bi'adadi man salla wa sa'a. اللهم